Hi, welcome to Story Time with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading a true story, How Pete Seeger Got America Singing. It's called Listen by Leda, Schubert, pictures by Raul Colon. Listen, there was nobody like Pete Seeger. Wherever he went, he got people singing, with his head thrown back and his Adam's apple bouncing, picking his long-necked banjo or strumming his 12-string guitar. Pete sang old songs, new songs, old songs with new words, and songs that he made up. In front of crowds large and small, he'd raise his arm. Basses, here's your part, he'd say. Tenors, sopranos, altos, here's yours. Four-part harmony would rise to the rafters and drift to the stars. Participation. That's what's going to save the human race. There's the people he's singing to. Listen, Pete participated his whole life. He led marches to end wars. He stood on peace lines in cold and snow, heat and rain. Down by the riverside, where have all the flowers gone? He joined rallies to support the work of unions. Which side are you on? Joe Hill, Union Maid? He sang ballads, blues, and love songs. The water is wide. Come all ye fair and tender ladies. Shenandoah. But that's not all. Pete loved singing with children, and children loved singing with Pete. Thousands sang with him. Abby Yo-Yo, Froggy went a-courtin', Skip to Maloo. Pete and his good friend Woody Guthrie traveled the country making up songs. They sang with hobos, union organizers, and farmers. And they hopped freight trains and they kept singing, hard traveling, this land is your land, pastures of plenty. Pete, Woody, and friends formed the Almanac Singers. Then Pete joined the Weavers, who became very famous indeed. They had a #1 hit with Goodnight Irene, a song they learned from Lead Belly, and hundreds of thousands sang with them. Zena, 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 When the Saints Go Marching In, Whim Away. At just about that time, Pete got into trouble. What trouble? This trouble. The House Un-American Activities Committee of the United States Congress questioned whether Pete was a true American. Pete said, "I love my country very deeply." Offered to sing a song and stood by his First Amendment right, the right of free speech. Wasn't that a time? Guadalajara. He was indicted for contempt of Congress. For the next 4 years, work dried up, but he kept traveling, making records and singing everywhere he could. Turn, 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 worried man blues. Finally, he got his trial. His conviction was overturned. During those years, so many people learned Pete's songs at summer camps, schools, and colleges, and taught those songs to others, that they became a little more like Pete. That was a good thing. Michael row the boat ashore, the midnight special. I just tap out a beat, pick a few chords and say, "Come on, you folks know this old tune." Pretty soon the audience will be singing the song to me, he said, and they did. When friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? Listen, not everybody had such courage. Pete did. When men and women joined hands to fight racism, Pete sang a powerful song, and millions sang with him. We shall overcome. He gave people hope when they needed it. Some music can help you do something about your troubles, he said. O freedom, we shall not be moved, this little light of mine. Pete and his wife Toshi built a log cabin overlooking the Hudson River. That mighty river had been poisoned. Factories had dumped chemical waste in it for years. So once again, Pete went to work. People laughed. You can't do that all by yourself, they said. And he couldn't. But when he sailed the great sloop Clearwater, they all came to see it. Guess what? They left caring about that river. And then they went to work too. It wasn't long before people could swim there. If anybody asks you where in the world is the most important place, tell them right where you are, Pete said. Naturally, he made up songs about it. Sailing down my golden river, river of my people. Pete didn't care about fame or money. He cared about justice, peace, equality, and people everywhere. If I had a hammer, oh, had I a golden thread, last night I had the strangest dream. These are all songs that he wrote. Whenever he was home, he chopped and split wood. He tapped maple trees for syrup, built an ice skating rink in winter, and claimed he made the world's best strawberry shortcake. Kisses sweeter than wine, living in the country. Listen, Pete walked the talk. He didn't just say things, he did things. He sang even after he lost his voice, and everybody sang with him. After his concerts, people who didn't know each other wandered into the streets in cities and towns, their voices soaring. So long, it's been good to know you. Maybe they sang as they went home. Maybe they taught Pete's songs to their friends, because there really was nobody like Pete Seeger. Listen and sing. And that's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye until next time.